This very little and compact device could be all that you need for your daily needs for music. And hello and welcome to Aftersound Review, and this is my review for the Shanling Up5 that costs around $180, and this is a Bluetooth receiver DAC amp. Also, you can also use it as a dongle. So just like usual, I will break down this review from the build, feature, and then sound and comparison. Build-wise, they feel really premium even though they are really compact like this. You will find a curved glass both on its forward and also backward side, and also in the side you will find this very smooth aluminum. And let me turn it on first. To turn it on, you need to press this volume button. It also can be used as on-off button, and then you just enter this pairing mode. Also, you can pair them with using NFC on the front side of the glass here. And yeah, it's very easy. It's just like this. I really love because they just really fit in my ears, in my hand like this, sorry. And you could also control them with only one button here for pause and play. And yeah, just like this. And then on the upside, you will find these three jack for, you can find the 3.5 single-ended, and then you got the 4.4 balance, also the 2.5 balance. And on the lower side, you will find this USB DAC charger. Also, you can use this port for using them as USB dongle. Before talking about the feature, I'd like to talk about the specification that you get. You got the ESS Saber ES9219C, also Bluetooth 5.0 with LDAC codec, and using single-ended, you get the 90 milliwatt power at 32 ohm. You got the dual DAC at single-ended, you get 112 milliwatt at 32 ohm, and also at balance you got 240 milliwatts at 32 ohm. So that's quite powerful. I would say that it's not the most powerful, but that will be enough for a lot of IM. At least in my 60 IMs collection, I don't really find that anything lacking power when I'm using this. Also, you get a 680 milliamp hour battery that you could use for 15 hours for a day while using the single deck for the SE, and then only 11 hours for its balance. So fairly enough for me, fairly good battery life. And also the thing that I really enjoy while using them is because how easy to operate them. It's really convenient. I mean, the volume button is on your thumb side, and also pause and play also on your point finger side. And then you could also use them as dongle and just plug them like this. And yeah, just plug it to either your computer, your laptops, or your phone. It's really easy and fun to use them. Also, you will get this Shanling app that you could download. Unfortunately, it is only in Android only. I couldn't find the Shanling app on the iOS. Well, and you got some features here that you could control using the app. You got two kind of filters. The first one is the linear phase fast that somehow sounds quite neutral, bright to me, a little bit brightish. And then the apodizing fast, that is I think that is the sound house of the Shanling that sounds warmer and more analog, I should say. And you can find the thing that is quite unique here, the single-ended one. You could control them using single or dual DAC. Now let's talk about the sound quality. By the way, I need to say one thing more. When you buy this Shanling Up5, you also get this really nice leather case. So yeah, just a little bit of info. Now let's talk about the sound. Like I said in the feature section, this Bluetooth DAC amp actually has two filters that sounds quite distinctly different. It is quite unique because I have tried a lot of sources, and also with receiver like this, usually they also have filters like in this Q-Lix 5K, but personally I couldn't really tell the difference between the filter from one filter with another. The sound is usually, the difference is really not that different. But in the Shanling Up5, the difference is clear for me. First of all, when I tried the linear phase fast, it sounds clean and somehow quite energetic with a deep sub bass and also punchy bass with a lot of treble air, but sometimes it reminds me of the dryness of the VOK-A3 that I personally sometimes I quite like. That depends on the cans that I use to match them, but sometimes it can be felt a little bit on the drier side, so I don't really enjoy the vocal in this filter. That's also, but the thing is, when you change them into the apodizing fast, it changed everything. It sounds much warmer, it gets more body, the mid-range, also the treble is much smoother. And the thing that I find quite unique is when I'm using them not as Bluetooth deck, but I'm using them as a Bluetooth just as a dongle to my phone, the sound that I get is the apodizing fast filter. But honestly, when you're using them as a dongle, you cannot change the filter. So yeah, you only get the apodizing fast when you're using them as a dongle. So it might become a little bit of minus point for those who like the linear phase fast filter. After trying a lot and playing with the Shanling Up5, I will tell you that yeah, it's quite unique that you will find a single or dual DAC setting here. That I find the dual DAC mode, even though on the single-ended only, will give you better separation and also better clarity overall, to the point that I don't see a point why anyone should use the single DAC mode while using the single-ended, because it's, for me, it's clearly different, especially when I'm using my Sennheiser IE600 here. When I'm changing them, I'm using the single-ended here. When I'm changing the single-ended using the single DAC to dual DAC, it's really different for me. The separation and also clarity is much better on a dual DAC. Okay, now let's back to the sound again. For me, both the filter on the apodizing fast or the linear phase fast, both have good bass punch, but the problem lies when you hear mid-range and also treble. So a lot of mid-range and treble that I hear from using the linear phase fast will sound much drier and also more prone to sibilance, but the apodizing fast will sound much warmer. It's really noticeable here, really, I'm really noticing. So the sibilance that I found in the linear phase fast gone, and it also adds a little warmth to the body, so the vocal gets thicker somehow. So I think you got two kind of sound here. The bass is I will say that the bass is still on the emphasized kind of sound. So yeah, it's not a really linear kind of sound I hear. For me, the Qlix 5K is still the more neutral one. I find this has the really good bass, but the mid-range, yeah, you can choose between whether you want it kind of bright or whether you want it kind of warm. But nevertheless, I find that the two of this filter mode still sounds quite extended, so I don't really losing details on the treble even though I'm using the apodizing. So simply say that this is a really easy to enjoy, because you could match with a lot of IMs that if maybe in some IMs that you feel a little bit too warm, you can use the linear phase fast, but with the IMs that you feel a little bit too bright, you will match them with this apodizing fast. For me, that's a really huge plus, but I couldn't really describe the sound because you get simply those two kind of sound. And even using the single-ended the AC will give a little bit warmth to the sound, but at the cost of clarity. So you get a lot of choices here, and for me it is all good. I mean, I don't find, even though I say the apodizing fast is kind of warm, but I don't really losing details on the treble side. So yeah, it is a really all-rounder kind of sound that I really like, so I could match with a lot of IMs that I have here. It just depends on the matching. But the thing is, I find also the 4.4 balance, also the 2.5, definitely gives you better separation and also details compared to the dual DAC mode from the single-ended. So you might want to try, if you have that balance connection, I will suggest you to try them using the balance, because it just unleashed its full potential, I guess. Also, the thing that I like with this simple Bluetooth DAC amp here, it sounds quite large and with good soundstage and also good separation. At this price point, here's the thing. I previously have owned the VO BTR5. This is the old version. I know there's a new version at the 2021 version, but I haven't tried that. The older version, and also this QDLX 5K that I still have till this day. For me, the price difference is not a little bit. This one costs around $105, while this Shanling Up5 $180. But I will say to you that it is worth it, because even though I still love my QDLX 5K, I will say that the sound level, so the sound quality, is just simply different. Using either both of the filter, I feel that this one, the Shanling Up5, gives you better dynamics, better punch in the lower end, and also the mid-range somehow is more lively, is more dynamics. I can feel better emotion compared to the QDLX 5K, and the treble also gives me better cymbal crash and energy and also impact. Even though I will say that QDLX 5K in terms of tuning, I feel this a more neutral one, but in terms of overall sound quality and technicality, this one just killed the QDLX 5K. And I have previously reviewed QDLX 5K and also compared them with the BTR5, that I find I prefer a bit the QDLX 5K. So yeah, this is like almost a new generation of the Bluetooth DAC amp. I know there's a new more Bluetooth DAC amp like the BTR7 from VO. I haven't tried that honestly, but I have tried the i-Fi Go Blue. I think i-Fi Go Blue is still a little bit warmer than this QDLX 5K, and the level jump from the sound is not that much. But the Shanling Up5, I think you got it all at $180. I know that's not really expensive nor cheap either. For me, the pricing point is just nice. I mean, let's talk about the pros. Like, it's really easy to carry. I mean, at this size, and also you got this case, and it's quite powerful. I mean, if you're using IEMs, you're not using headphones, especially planar headphones, that is kind of usually hard to drive. I find that I have no problem at all using them with all of my IEMs and even my headphones, the old Oppo PM2, even though using the single-ended only, I find no problem with that. And also it has this scroll wheel that is really easy to use. I love it. You get the 3 kinds of jack plugs here, so you can try a lot of plugs here. You can try the single-ended 3.5 to even the balance 2.4, 2.5 or the 4.4, and it sounds good. So yeah, if you want all-in-one device that you could also use either as Bluetooth receiver or a dongle, I find that this Shanling Up5 is easy to recommend. Okay, I think that's all I could say about the Shanling Up5. If you have any question, please write down in the comments below, and see you next time. Bye bye.